Hello, Lions fans. You've just stepped into Lions News Fan Report, the heartbeat of Detroit football, where every rumor, every sideline whisper, and every high-stakes headline gets dissected with the passion only true Lions Nation can bring. And today, what's on the table isn't just another all-season talking point. It's the kind of move that could reshape the NFC for years. You've probably heard the noise already, because it's not just noise anymore. The buzz is too loud, the timing too perfect, and the ripple effects too big to ignore. All signs point to one thing. Detroit is on the verge of pulling off something massive, something that involves a name every quarterback in the league fears. The preseason might be underway, but the real fireworks are happening off the field. And while the Hall of Fame game showed a Lions team still shaking off a bit of rust, a little slow out of the gate, a little behind in rhythm, what's brewing in Dallas is the kind of drama that can send shockwaves across the entire conference. Yes, Dallas, the Cowboys, and the man at the center of it all, Micah Parsons, one of the most feared defensive forces in the NFL, and a player whose relationship with America's team appears to have gone past the breaking point. We've all read his words by now. I no longer want to be here. That's not rumor. That's a public declaration from Parsons himself. No filters, no sugarcoating. He's done with closed-door negotiations without his agent. He's done with having his commitment questioned after playing through injuries. He's done with the narratives being pushed about him. And if that wasn't enough to set the Cowboys front office on fire, CeeDee Lamb stepped in on social media, telling the team to just pay the man what you owe him. When teammates go public like that, it's more than just money. It's a crack in the locker room that can split wide open. And here's the thing. While Dallas scrambles to control the damage, Detroit has been quietly building something rare: stability. A culture where players know their value, where trust flows both ways, where stars like Aidan Hutchinson don't need to go public to be heard. Which is why the whispers about Parsons making his way to the Motor City don't feel like fantasy anymore. They feel possible, and for some, inevitable. Think about it. The Cowboys don't want this kind of firestorm hanging over their season. The longer it drags, the more leverage they lose. And right now, the Lions have something Dallas might want: cap flexibility, draft capital, and a front office that knows how to close a deal when the window is open. It's not hard to imagine Brad Holmes seeing this for what it is: a rare opening to bring in a generational talent at the exact moment our team is ready to contend for more than just a division title. And let's not pretend this is just about Parsons. This is also about Hutchinson, our homegrown star, our cornerstone. Imagine locking him up long-term while pairing him with Parsons. Two alpha edge rushers, both in their prime, feeding off each other's energy every single S and a P. You don't plan for matchups like that. You survive them. And that's what the rest of the NFC will be forced to do: survive. Defensive end salaries are exploding. Myles Garrett's $40 million a year deal already rewrote the market. Wait too long on Hutchinson and the price climbs even higher. So maybe the Parsons situation is the jolt the Lions need to not just secure their current cornerstone, but add another without hesitation. Because once you picture those two on the same line, it's hard to think about anything else. So here we are, Lions Nation, watching Dallas implode while our own front office sits in the perfect position. You can call it speculation if you want. You can say it's just talk. But tell me this: when was the last time so many things lined up so perfectly in Detroit's favor? If you believe the Lions have the chance to turn this season into something unforgettable, hit that like button right now, drop a comment, and let's finish this conversation. Because we are standing at a crossroads that could define the next decade of Detroit football. Let's be honest, when news like this breaks out of Dallas, you don't just shrug it off. You start thinking scenarios. You start imagining what a front seven with both Aidan Hutchinson and Micah Parsons would actually look like. Two relentless, high-motor edge rushers attacking from opposite sides, forcing quarterbacks into panic mode from the very first snap. Offensive lines wouldn't be able to slide protection one way. Running backs would be forced to stay in and block, instead of slipping out for passes. Every offensive coordinator in the NFC would have to throw out half their playbook just to survive 4 quarters. Now, of course, that kind of move comes with a price, a massive one. To land Parsons, the Lions would have to part with premium draft capital. We're talking multiple first-round picks and maybe more. And then there's the contract. Parsons isn't just looking to get paid. He's aiming to reset the market for edge rushers. If Myles Garrett is at $40 million a year, Parsons could easily demand $42 to $45 million annually. Pair that with Hutchinson's eventual extension, which could also be in the $35 to $40 million range, and suddenly your edge duo is eating up a huge slice of the cap. But here's the question. Would it be worth it? The Super Bowl window in the NFL is rarely open for long. Injuries happen, rosters change, and the NFC is in a state of transition right now. The Eagles are loaded, but they're aging in certain key spots. The 49ers are elite, but they've been dealing with their own contract headaches. The Cowboys, well, they're dealing with this mess. If Detroit were to go all in now, it could position us not just to make the playoffs, but to own the conference for the next few years. Still, there's the other side of the coin. Adding Parsons might mean saying goodbye to some of the young stars we've been grooming. Guys like Brian Branch, Sam Laporta, maybe even Jameson Williams down the line. When those rookie deals expire, you can't pay everyone. And while a Hutchinson-Parsons duo would be terrifying, losing core players at other positions could shift the balance of the team. It's the eternal GM dilemma. Do you sacrifice depth for game-breaking talent, or do you build a more balanced roster? This is where the gift from Dallas becomes interesting even if a trade never happens. Parsons' public frustration is a warning shot to every GM in the league. Treat your stars right, or risk blowing up your locker room. And in Detroit, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have been the opposite of what we're seeing in Dallas. They've built trust. They've been transparent. Players believe in the vision here. That's why Hutchinson is in camp, working, even without a new deal in place. That's why you don't see our guys taking shots at the organization on social media. But if Holmes wants to keep it that way, he can't let Hutchinson's situation drag on too long. We've seen too many times in the NFL how quickly goodwill can turn to tension when contracts become the main topic of conversation. And with the defensive end market skyrocketing, locking Hutch up sooner could save millions. That extra cap space could be the difference between keeping our core together and having to make tough cuts in 2 or 3 years. Think about it. In 2026, the Lions' cap space tightens. Jared Goff, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and others will all have big money deals in place. If Hutchinson's extension isn't handled strategically, it could collide with those cap spikes, forcing Detroit into decisions they don't want to make. But if they do it now, while the cap is still manageable, they can structure the deal to keep flexibility down the road. So where does this leave us? With a unique opportunity, either to watch Dallas fumble one of its greatest assets and learn from their mistakes, or, if the stars align, to make an aggressive move that could push the Lions over the top. Nobody knows how this will play out. Not yet. But the fact that we're even having this conversation is proof of how far this franchise has come. We're no longer talking about rebuilding. We're talking about staying on top, making moves that scare other teams, and thinking like contenders. And that's what makes this moment so fascinating. We don't have to panic. We don't have to chase every shiny name. But we do have to be ready to protect our core, ready to pounce at the right opportunity comes, and ready to take the risks that champions take when their window is open. So Lions fans, here's my question to you. If Parsons really does hit the market, would you trade multiple first-round picks and pay him record-breaking money to line up across from Hutchinson? Or do you believe the smarter play is to double down on our current core and lock Hutch up immediately? I want to know what you think, because the front office may be asking themselves those exact same questions right now. And whatever they decide, you can bet it's going to shape the future of Detroit football for years to come.